Yes, Mr. Chairman. Chairman Carney.
I'm here.
Member Davis. Member Fernandez Kitchen.
Here.
Member Freed.
Here.
Member Golden.
Here.
Member Sue. Member Shaw.
Here.
We have a quorum, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Secretary, thank you very much. Thank you all. It's probably our most important meeting of the year. It's good. So why don't we get to the minutes of May 1st meeting? Have you all had a chance to read it? Are there any recommended corrections, changes? There being none, may I have a motion please to approve? Second.
Second.
Thank you very much. All in favor, please vote aye. Minutes are approved unanimously. Immediately behind the minutes in your folder should appear the annual budget. It's about 10 pages. Have the members all had a chance to go over this? Yes. Everybody else? Hearing no questions, may I have a motion please to approve the budget? Thank you, Adam. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, please indicate with aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Budget is approved. As I said at the beginning of this meeting, this is probably the most important meeting we have. And it's the meeting in which we looked at the proposed rate schedule and made decisions about whether or not we would adopt recommendations related by what I'd like to do today before we take a vote is to spend some time talking about some testimony. Several really interesting people appeared before this board, appeared before PEP, appeared before the commission, did all the presentations. And there seemed to be some real interest in a couple of different things that this board might consider. Our water expert is out here. And I thought maybe you might want to, if you like that discussion, fill in for your
Sure. So I first and foremost, as I always do, want to thank and recognize the DEP staff and water board staff. I dealt with water boards and water systems and agencies around the globe, and every time I do, I'm reminded how lucky we are by the professionalism and investments that have been made historically in New York and continue to be made. That we are by far heads and tails above any other city I've been in terms of sophistication, commitment, and foresight of the board. So very much appreciate that. For the past 5 years, I've certainly been a strong advocate for having a shift in the way we approach our stormwater charge and looking at incorporating the impervious area as a means of calculating that. This is now something that is well-established practice used in other cities around the world, throughout the U.S. to really better align the source of stormwater and associated charges with their sources and to incentivize ways to reduce it. That's something that I was really impressed with some of the comments that we received and the interest this year from the Swim Coalition, the Riverkeeper, and others. I was reading through both the written and oral testimony that was continually recurring. And while New York is a national and international leader on many water issues, this is an area that sadly we fall behind and have not been as much of a leader on. We are when it comes to the green infrastructure and building that out in the system throughout the city, and DEP's own commitments and investments. And the Commissioner presented on the fact that $900 million in the next 10-year capital plan is dedicated to green stormwater infrastructure, and that is a staggering amount compared to what other cities are spending. But a real opportunity for us to kind of take the mantle of leadership on that There is a study that is now going to be conducted to look at sustainable stormwater charge. Currently it's projected for 3 years, and I think some of the testimony we heard was very eloquent on urging DEP to complete that on an accelerated timeline. One of the reasons why that's particularly important is the billing system is being updated for DEP, and that will be completed in 2021. We cannot incorporate a new charge and find ways to associate impervious area with customer data until that's done. Working through Detroit, we tried to do that with an old billing system. It is a headache and it is incredibly difficult. So I am very cognizant of the needs to have an updated, modernized billing system to do more of the sophisticated things we like to do. That being said, I'd urge the city to accelerate the timeline to complete the sustainable stormwater study by the end of next year, so that they can come to us as a board and we can have a conversation with them to think about what that could look like, what are the associated studies we need, how do we engage with the public to talk about what this could look like, how do we understand its impact across the boroughs and across the different building types and property owners and how that may work out. This is a complicated finance, policy, and social issue that needs to be addressed. So having that study done sooner would allow us to have a robust engagement. So just want to acknowledge the need for this, acknowledge the testimony we heard, and use this as an opportunity to thank DEP for the investments that they're making in the physical infrastructure, to thank them for the investment being made in the consultant study, but really urge them to accelerate that timeline so that we can make the right decisions and be informed and engage the public in a meaningful way in what will be a complicated but an absolutely critical issue for the city.
I was impressed with the number of comments that we got on this issue. Easily 40 separate. Well, there was a form letter that was signed by 40 or so people. It was the same letter. No comments were about it. But it is an issue that has really taken a front position in city water infrastructure. And I do it, but I didn't realize that we were behind. And we carefully about it. At least that's the tone we take at times. Respectful comments, but we got some answers. And we will, of course, spend some time with the commissioner and the executive director talking about what we might be able to do in the not too distant future. Why will this going to take 3 years for it to have some time?
And if I may address that, Mr. Chair, to Member Freed's question. We're still in the negotiation phase with the selected vendor, so there's still that process we're going through. But I think what we'll commit to the board is that once we get past that, we'll work with the commissioner and with the deputy commissioner Mikado, who is the one that we're leading on this, who has experience because she led the last rate study we did, because it will also be encompassing just not the stormwater charge, but also what are the rate structures that we can look. And I think that's a very important point that Member Freed made about the billing system. We want to make sure that we have the billing system not only in place, but we've had the opportunity to test run it as well. And also present is acting Deputy Commissioner Mattarella, who's going to be leading the charge and just got underway with that. We're very positive that we think we're going to be able to stay on that 21 time frame that we have, have worked out with the vendor on that. So we're expecting that there might be able to be some acceleration in that schedule, but we think this is something that we'll bring back to the board in the coming months to be able to have this as a discussion and be able to report out and engage on, both with you and as to the extent needed, with the public as well, as we get closer to saying what our new rate structure is going to be like.
Thank you very much. Are there other comments?
I just want to say, with the owning Adams concern, I think Jonathan and I, we all spoke to Joe in the Bronx about the same issue too. I think that we all understand the issue around impervious surfaces and what's stormwater runoff really is and how it's really going to impact water, what the real meaning of that is for the public, the people, and the quality of our drinking water. I think that this isn't just our water expert. The mother of the 5-year-old is also equally as concerned, sort of the impact of what excessive stormwater runoff means.
Yeah, and that's very
to our drinking water.
I was taken with the fact that one of
Oh, yes, yes.
That's very taken.
Yeah, and I would just, build on it. New York is a leader on
It is.
stormwater management and on green stormwater infrastructure. That they are pioneers in Philadelphia, Washington, D.C. This is not to suggest that we are behind on water quality issues or behind on investments. I think what we have the opportunity to do is to catch up on the rate structure, which is incredibly complicated. However long we think it's going to take, we're underestimating. And however complicated we think it is, we're underestimating that, which is why I think the sooner we can get that information and begin the process, the better informed we'll be and able to work with DP. And I think the comments here are only about, we want to be willing and active partners in this in any way we can help move that forward in a more accelerated fashion. You have a water board and members, and certainly my personal commitment to do anything I can to help that.
I would agree with that. I'd just like to note that we are the beneficiaries of forward thinking by folks who designed the system a very, very long time ago. As a consequence, we have a remarkable infrastructure that has been handed down to us. The flip side of that, though, is that it's 100 years old, and so trying to figure out how to handle stormwater and separate it from wastewater is a very complicated issue, and it's something that we need to figure out as soon as we can, as quickly as we can, because it's a real challenge. It's very hard. The volume of water that ends up being treated, instances of combined sewer overflow, are over 1 billion gallons, 1.3 billion, I think, and that's the average actually. And so trying to figure out how to retrofit a completely built out city to deal with stormwater is incredibly difficult. I commend the DEP for working on trying to think on the big picture about such a difficult issue. I echo Adam and Colleen's comments about trying to expedite the matter, but I also recognize that it's very difficult and that it's something, at least on the rate side, is difficult because the billing systems, and then on the infrastructure side is difficult because we have an amazing legacy system, but one that isn't designed with that frame of mind, the modern day environmental frame of mind necessarily. So with that, I'd like to support Member Freed, Shaw, and their comments. And I'd like to say I was particularly impressed by how many organizations showed up to testify, and organizations ranging, from Riverkeeper to Swim to NRDC. And I'm not going to name all of them, but there really were a bunch that tried in understanding nuances and also appreciate the complexity of this issue. As the chair said, are respectful about how difficult this is, but are encouraging us to try and move as expeditiously as we can. And I think it makes sense for us in turn to encourage DEP to do the same. And so I thank the chair for
Your comments. Thank you. Are there any other comments? Then I think it's time you had a chance to review the draft look to rates for Woodward with this 2.31% increase. It's a very well done document. It is a draft document. Did anybody have any questions with the document? About the document? Does anybody want to make any recommendations that might not conform with the individual parts of the hearing your comment, and a motion please to approve the rates as was presented in draft. Thank you, Adam. Is there a second? Thank you very much. All in favor, please indicate aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. We have one final agenda item, is the adoption of water rates for customers north of New York City. That document was prepared by Emerald Consulting. Ed Marcus is with us today. If there are questions about the document, don't hesitate to direct them to that. First,
I would also just like to say that as complicated as I sometimes feel the New York City water rate structure is, understanding the different parts and components and historic nature of the upstate. So I just commend Amwalk for the report and the testimony. Had a chance to go through from the different parties there, and appreciate the people who come out and participate in that process as we do in New York. I want to recognize that and thank them for being part of the process.
Thanks very much. I have a question, and I think it may be for you, Ed. It's a simple one. Has the methodology of the upstate compilation changed in the last 4 or 5 years? Are you doing something different now? Anything different now? Is the structure of this report something that you have not had to change over the course of several years?
In the last few years, we've kept the structure the same, consistent with prior agreements between the city and the upstate customers with regard to debt service and how we handle things. And also, we proposed phasing the reconciliation process, but nothing has changed in recent years, the last few years.
All right, thank you. Are there any other questions for any of our experts? Hearing none, may I have a motion please to approve the adoption of water rates for customers in North New York City? Thank you, Arthur. Is there a second? Edwin, thank you very much. All in favor, please give aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Is there any other business to come before this board?
I'd just like to say one quick thing, which is that we had hearings in all of the boroughs, the upstate areas, and this year, although we received a fair amount of testimony in writing, we did not have a huge turnout at the borough hearings, and I hope that folks consider turning up in future hearings and sharing their thoughts with the board, because we listen. If any of us can't make it, we read the transcripts, so people are heard. I also wanted to note that the DEP staff, including a number of the people in the room, the commissioner, executive director, and treasurer of the water board, Omar, and Joe, and many, and the whole DEP staff are there at these hearings and presenting to the public. And we do the presentation. If there's one person there, and there's it's really a remarkable thing to have so many resources invested in trying to let the public be heard. And so I hope that in future years people will avail themselves of the opportunity to let us listen to the public. Thank you.
John, thank you. I want to thank all the members who were able to get to our hearings this year. There's presentations always done by the DEP. It's a shared presentation between the commissioner and the executive director. It is an excellent presentation. It's something that I'm very proud to be part of. Thank you very much, Commissioner, for what you've done. To present, as John said, the presentation is made when there's only one person. You believe there's only one person. It's not a long presentation. It's a very fun presentation. It is unfortunate, although that more of the public does not go through and see this. I like to tell my friends in New York City, we got the best part of East Mississippi. Now, whether it is or not, but I believe it is. It doesn't matter. It's excellent. The water quality here is unsurpassed in my personal experience. And I spent a lot of time in the nation's capital. Sorry, the quality of the water leaves something to be desired. We're very fortunate to have DEP and the staff working as it does to ensure the quality of what we drink. It's a big deal to me. That was my final. Any other questions?
You did, yeah. I would just say that I would add a caveat that it's not just East Mississippi.
And it's scientifically proven.
Yeah. Don't limit us.
Thank you very much, Ed. I think then I can ask for, can we have a vote, all in favor?
To adjourn? To adjourn?
To adjourn?
Yeah. So moved.
Thank you. We're out of here.
All right.